I know and will not dispute the fact that Doris Day's With a Smile and a Song is an album very much for children, aimed at children, and indeed featuring children. But listening to it is like listening to a half-hour lullaby, like being mothered and nurtured by Doris Day through song. And every time I listen to it, I feel comforted, I don't feel alone, I feel uplifted, I feel soothed, I feel a little bit emotional. I absolutely love it. With a Smile and a Song was released in 1964. All of the songs, of course, are sung by Doris Day. All of them are covers. And also with the children's chorus and Jimmy Joyce. Having Doris Day's beautiful, maternal, warm, dulcet voice being harmonised with the innocent voice of children, it works so well. It works so wonderfully well. I can't think of a better pairing. The songs, most of the songs I love. A lot of them are already new. I've gained a couple of new favourites. One of them is a very questionable song, and unfortunately, that is one of the two songs that does not have a Wikipedia article, so I don't know the origin of this song, but I'll talk about that when I get there. As usually when I review a Doris Day album, I'll just kind of go through the songs and give my brief thoughts on each track. I'm not that knowledgeable with musical terminology. I don't like, I don't depend on music the way a lot of people do. I depend on films. So it's not going to be an in-depth analysis of her covers. It is simply going to be how much her voice is amazing with each of these songs and what the weak links are, because there are a couple of weak links. Though I have to say, the weak links are still quite strong. It's a very amazing album and definitely one of my favourites of hers. First one is Give a Little Whistle from Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket. Absolutely love it. Beautiful cover, beautiful version. I will never be able to watch Pinocchio. Well, I never watch Pinocchio now because it terrifies me. But I will never be able to watch the music video with Jiminy Cricket for Give a Little Whistle without seeing Doris Day. The second one is the children's marching song, also known as This Old Man or Knick Knack Paddywhack. And I love it. This is incredibly high energy and it never stops. It goes through the song, this old man, he played 1, he played 2, he played 3, all the way to 10. At one point he's playing Knick Knack on her hen. It's exceptionally unusual. I'm not sure how true the lyrics are to the traditional version, but I absolutely loved it. I always try and sing along with this, particularly as it gets faster and faster, and honestly it's really difficult. Her vocals are beautiful, it's clear, it's audible, it's an absolute delight. Then we have Getting to Know You, which is obviously a Rodgers and Hammerstein song, and it's from The King and I. I love it, and I love the way she sings to the children with this one specifically. She's singing about getting to know the children, and it's just her voice fits this song so well. Zippity Doodah, obviously an absolutely beautiful one, and it starts off a little bit slow. Not really a fan of the introduction of this song, but then it gets going, and it's not a song I ever would have thought Doris Day would have sung, but when you hear it, it is good. Okay, track 5, The Lilac Tree. I have two thoughts about this one. First of all, I like it. This is the first time I'd heard it. I like the tune, I like the rhythm, I like the sing-songy speaking that's in some of it. I do not like the message that it's given. Basically, this boy, who has never met this girl before, asks her for a kiss, and she says, I will give you a kiss when apples hang from the lilac tree. Lovely bit of sass from her there, basically saying you're a stranger. In fact, one of the lines is, you're a stranger, sir, said she. And then all of a sudden she feels guilty for denying this boy a kiss, and she goes about trying to rectify this terrible wrong that she had done, to quote the song, and just ties up some apples, tying apples to the lilac tree. She felt bad for not kissing a stranger. I guess it's definitely a product of its time. Absolutely a product of its time. But as a song, I really liked it. High Hopes, I love. Again, I hadn't heard of it. Apparently it was made popular by Frank Sinatra. My favourite line is, he's got high apple pie in the sky hopes. It's absolutely beautiful. The version of Do Re Mi is great. It's not my favourite ever version of Do Re Mi, because there is one version, and I honestly do not know which one. I think the film version that I listened to constantly when I was a teenager, and that's the version that will always be in my head. But I did like it a lot. A children's album by Doris Day would not be complete without Que Sera Sera. And of course it's in this one. The version is very much like the ones you'll find in her other albums. It appears on pretty much every Doris Day album. Inchworm, I didn't much care for, and I still don't. I don't skip it. It's not like I don't like it that much. But the weird thing is, this actually first appeared in the film Hans Christian Andersen, and I love that film. And I only watched it a couple of months ago for the first time. But I have no recollection of that being in that film. So I think that probably speaks volumes about how much this just didn't really capture my attention as a song. Swinging on a Star is one that I quite liked. It didn't really speak to me. It's not a song that I would go and seek out from other people, but it's not a bad one. I'm going to skip number 11 for a second. Number 12, the final song, is With a Smile and a Song. And honestly, I just don't get the appeal. Obviously, it concludes the album. It's the titular track. But I just didn't really ever take to it. I don't really care for it. There are times when I will listen to the penultimate track. Unless I'm listening to the album on loop, in which case it's a different story. But if I'm just listening to it once all the way through, I would probably get to the penultimate track, I'd say 80% of the time, and then stop. So I don't really care about it ending the album, but the penultimate track is Sleepy Baby, and nobody could sing this the way Doris Day does. It is impossible to listen to this without imagining Doris Day being the ultimate figure of motherhood, singing a lullaby to her baby. Any baby, I don't care whose baby, just a baby. And I cry every time. Not buckets, I'm not shedding tears after tears, but I will always well up, and tears will always prickle in my eyes when I listen to this one, and it just moves me so much. And I don't know if or anybody else has covered it. It's one that's not on Wikipedia for some reason, but it's one of the most beautiful songs Doris Day has ever sung. It's absolutely gorgeous. I do like the fact that the album starts off quite high energy, and then the last few songs are all quite mellow, kind of, having fun playing. Now it's time to go to sleep, let's sing you a lullaby. I just wish it had ended on Sleepy Baby, because it's gorgeous. And although I do really love this album, definitely one of my favourites, I can't really fault it, and I think, although it's only new in my life, it will always hold a special place in my heart.